Welcome back to The Climb, ladies and gentlemen. This is KDreezy from KDreezy Gaming. So if you guys are just tuning in, The Climb is basically a series that I just made just to help beginners and intermediate players learn how to ladder from bronze, silver, into gold. Just some tips and tricks that I have for you guys. So we've already done the Masteries page, and we've done Champion Select page videos. So what I'm going to do is runes for this one. So let's jump on into it. For my AP carry rune page, this is just to provide a base for you guys. I get ability power quintessences, seals of armor, and for my marks I get magic penetration, and then for my glyphs I get magic resist. And then if you go to my ADC, I have attack speed quintessences, armor, seals, magic resist glyphs, and attack damage marks. Some people like to do attack damage quintessences as well. I just like that extra attack speed. I've just found over the past year or so, ever since that they made all those changes to the bottom lane, I feel like the attack speed, the 14% attack speed, is definitely worth it, rather than getting the attack damage quintessences. If you get the attack damage quintessences, you get 2.2, so 6.75 attack damage, and I don't really think that would be worth 14% attack speed. I feel like 14% attack speed is definitely better for your trades in the bottom lane. Okay, so let's go to, this is a specialty rune page, and this one I use for champions like Lux, ones that I really like having my cooldown. So this is, I call it my max cooldown AP. But you'll notice that there's something a little weird about it. So I have my scaling cooldown reduction for my glyphs, I have my seals of armor, and marks of magic penetration. And then, but what's weird is I have 1 quintessence of scaling cooldown reduction, and then 2 quintessences of ability power. And so basically the reason why I do that is because you get, with all of these glyphs and this 1 quintessence, you get 20%. At level 18, you're having 20% cooldown reduction. And basically, the reason for that is because I have in my masteries 5%, right? When you play ability power champions, you're getting 5% there. So you're at 25% right there. And not only that, but when you go and buy your first item, most people, when they're playing ability power champions, their first item is going to be a mana regen and cooldown reduction item. So, you know, whatever it may be, you're probably going to get a 10, 15, 20% cooldown reduction just from that one item, and so you're already at 40% right there. So there's no need to get these other 2 quintessences in cooldown reduction. So that's what I like to do. You guys can tweak that around if you want to. What we're going to go into is, this is my hybrid Akali and Katarina build. For my rune pages, I like to go hybrid pen for all my quintessences and hybrid pen for my marks. And the reason for that is because if you get regular magic pen, basically obviously you're getting a little bit more magic pen, but you're also losing all of your armor pen. And you have little auto attacks, or you should be using your auto attacks in between your abilities. And also when you're playing Akali and Katarina, you also have some abilities that also scale on attack damage. It might not be a lot, but having that extra 13 armor pen compared to just a couple extra armor pen, or magic pen, it actually helps you out a lot, and the trade is definitely worth it. It's a fair trade in my opinion. And so that's why I like to do that. If you guys want to learn more about my Katarina build, which is kind of based on hybrid, but you build straight ability power and magic pen items. So it's kind of confusing, but if you guys want to learn more about that, you can go to my LOL King. I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can check that out and learn a little bit more about that. With this build, with these rune pages, masteries, and that build I have on LOL King, my friend and I have both won many games with Katarina. And so it definitely works. It's not the standard Katarina build, and you'll see why when you read it. But that is it's something that I found works really well. So the next page we have is Critical Strike. I don't really use this very often, just for like Tryndamere and a couple other champions, which I don't really play very often in the first place. But if you do play a Critical Strike champion, this page really helps out. It gives you 8.4% crit chance and 13% crit damage. So, and then I just basically get the Seal of Armor and the Glyphs of Magic Resist. And then for the jungle, basically all you want for jungle is armor and damage. So I got my attack damage quintessences, my attack damage marks, and then my Seals of Armor definitely helps you to stay, you know, in the jungle longer, and then the magic resist for your ganking and team fights and whatnot. So this is my spell vamp mastery, rune page, and I have my spell vamp quintessences, which give you 6% spell vamp bonus. I use this for Vladimir, and one or two other champions, but mostly for my Vladimir. Instead of getting the armor, I get health regen. They really buffed the health and health regen seals, and you can do either one. But then I get magic pen for my marks and ability power for my glyphs. And then for my assassin, I go 30% cooldown reduction. So I get my cooldown reduction for my quintessences and my glyphs, and then I get scaling armor for my seals. It just kind of helps you into that mid and late game, and then armor pen for my marks. So when you're playing an assassin champion, maybe let's just say Talon, basically what this allows you to do is you have 30% cooldown reduction, so you don't have to worry about that at all. You're already going to have, you know, your ult's going to be up all the time, your abilities are going to be up all the time. You can just spam, and basically you have this armor pen and this armor, so that you can just focus on building damage items. So that's all you need to do is build damage items and armor pen items, and you don't really have to worry about anything else because you're just constantly going to have your abilities up. And so yeah, that's basically my main 8 rune pages. Like I said before, you guys can move these around just like in the masteries. You know, people will find things that they like or they don't like, and you know, it's up to you guys, whatever you're comfortable with. This is just designed to give you guys a base, especially for you beginner players. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was a long video, and have a good day.